which is the Soth Kilburn project. Councillor Tatler.
Thank you, Councillor Patel. Yeah, it feels almost like I'm starting and ending my career in Cabinet here with Soth Kilburn. It's a particularly important scheme and project for Brent Council, and the communities down there have deserved so much because of the work that has been going through, and it's an important strategic site for us, but the communities there are wonderful, and I'd like to pay tribute to the work and the communities there who've bared with us through this process as we go through. Now, Soth Kilburn, the way it was initially constructed was delivered through a phased approach where we would master plan and then obviously give planning permission for each phase and then go out to procure for a contractor to build out each phase coming forward. We're at a stage now where, due to a number of reasons, viability being one of them, but also listening to residents and their experiences of how the regeneration has gone through, working with ward councillors about understanding what we need to now change and adapt to how we approach the construction and the rest of the build for Soth Kilburn to progress. So listening to residents around estate management, around community communication, around build quality, around infrastructure, around engagement, and also clearly about governance. We're embarking on a process, and it's taken a couple of years to get to this point, making sure that both legal and finance teams are satisfied with the approach that we're taking, is that we're going to approach Soth Kilburn hoping to get a single delivery partner rather than several different partners on the estate as we've got at the moment. This paper is seeking approval from Cabinet to start a process. It's by no way means set in stone, but it's setting a clear indicator to anyone who is interested in becoming Brent's single delivery partner for Soth Kilburn, to approach it with the values in which we started this scheme around the landlord promise, about communities at the heart of this and delivering the wider infrastructure. Housing is obviously massively important as part of this scheme, but as is the wider master plan objectives around a new school, medical centres, green space, trees, retail space, enterprise opportunities, employment, all of that is encompassed with what we're aiming to do in Soth Kilburn. So my aim here today, and I'd like to thank our Soth Kilburn team led by Archika, Jerry, our legal and finance teams who've put this paper together as an indicator to the sector about what we expect. And we will expect close working with whoever the partner may end up being, and making sure that our communities, our ward councillors are at the heart of anything that goes forward in Soth Kilburn. It's an important site for us, and we look forward to seeing how it progresses. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, and also thank you for bringing this project forward, and also, you know, realising the potential for Kilburn. Councillor Rubin, do you have a comment or a question?
Yeah, thank you for this. I think the move to a single delivery partner allows for kind of better scrutiny, accountability, and kind of development of the project. 3.4 looks at some of the strategic sort of policies that are relevant to the programme, one of which is the climate and ecological emergency. I would refer to the earlier climate delivery plan, which looks at a new developer-led green neighbourhood in Soth Kilburn. So I'm really looking forward to working with officers to ensuring that the single delivery partner we're working to kind of maximise green space, active travel, air quality, and all of our commitments on climate emergency. So yeah, thank you for that.
Councillor Donnelly Jackson.
Just a very quick point, which is like, this is so critical because one of the immense financial pressures on us as a council is the need for temporary accommodation and the homelessness crisis. And so anything that supports and streamlines the delivery of greater high quality affordable housing is just really important. Thank you for this report because it really sets out in great detail how it's been considered, what the options should be. And it does sound like a sensible way forward.
Thank you. Councillor Nerva.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to see this report and would thank Councillor Tatler and your final cabinet for bringing this to us and making sure this is seen through. As a Queen's Park councillor, which adjoins Soth Kilburn, but actually has got the Falcon site in, there is much expectation from residents over a long period of time to see this site developed. And we know that placemaking in Soth Kilburn is really crucial to the success of not just building housing, but actually creating and enabling communities in the area. And I look forward to the work in South Kilburn, creating some unity across both sides of the track, north and south. And let's move on with it. And I hope that resources can be found, not just within the council, but from within outside the council, to enable this really crucial generation to take place, the conclusion of it to take place sooner rather than later. Thank you very much. And thank you for your work on South Kilburn.
Just to also point out that the talk about working with outside partners, the Mayor of London has always been critical, and his support for giving grants within South Kilburn. We obviously purchased the previous Telford home site, which is a Unity Place site in South Kilburn, which was previously 50-50, 50 social, 50 private, but now is entirely social housing. So, you know, we will continue working with partners on that, particularly the Mayor of London, on this scheme. But I should also point, Councillor Rubin's point around accountability and governance. This is a start of a process. Both my successor and the leader will be kept abreast of every development going forward, and Cabinet will have the final decision about the single delivery partner, should we get to that point in that stage. But this is a way of kind of making sure we can address some of the critical issues that we've now learned over the last few years about what needs to happen in South Kilburn going forward.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for your comments. So we'll go to the recommendations, which are on page 204 to 205. Are we happy to go through, Cabinet? Thank you. Thank you very much.